Hey everyone, and welcome to another Bentley and Aston Paws Explainer. We are absolutely thrilled you're hanging out with us today.
For sure. As canine cognitive researchers, we just love digging into the fascinating science behind why our dogs do what they do. And hey, before we really dive in, take just a quick second to hit that like button, share this with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. It honestly means the world to us and helps us keep bringing you this evidence-based education on canine psychology, behavior, and that incredible bond we share with our dogs.
Okay, so picture this. You're sitting there and your dog trots over, right? And they just casually drop this soggy, slobber-soaked toy literally right at your feet. What's your very first instinct? If you're anything like most of us, you're probably thinking, oh, okay, he wants to play fetch.
Right. But as behavioral science shows us, that assumption is actually often completely wrong because delivering a toy is rarely just a simple demand for a game. What we're actually looking at is a super complex form of social communication, emotional regulation, and honestly, just deep, profound trust. There are actually a bunch of different versions of this behavior, and today we're going to decode exactly what your dog is trying to tell you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Beyond the game of fetch, focusing on body language.
So, to really understand this secret language, you kind of have to ignore the toy itself for a second and look exclusively at their posture. When a dog truly wants to play, you're going to see what we call play energy. The energy is pushing forward. Ears are up, their weight is loaded onto their front legs, and you might get a play bow, a sudden little spin, or maybe hear a sharp bark. The whole vibe just points straight ahead toward action.
Exactly. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast. Compare that play energy to a slow, calm arrival. The ears go totally soft, the tail is hanging low and loose, their weight is settled back. The energy isn't building up here, it's just arriving. This isn't a demand for action at all. This is what canine behaviorists call affiliative behavior.
Now, affiliative behavior basically includes all those little things dogs do simply to maintain and strengthen their social bond with you. Think about them leaning on your leg, following you from room to room, or just sleeping nearby. Right, but bringing a toy, that sits one crucial level above just simple closeness. Why? Well, because handing over something they highly value, an object they instinctively want to guard, that's an active gesture of surrender and trust.
Moving right along to Section 2, Scent, Value, and Deep Trust.
Now, what's really interesting about this is why a specific favorite toy means so incredibly much to them in the first place. It's not just a random piece of fabric or rubber to them. To a dog, their absolute favorite toy is essentially a security blanket.
Oh, absolutely. It carries their own scent, it carries your scent, and it is literally soaked in positive memories of your time together. It acts as one of the most reliable comforters in their entire world. And because of this massive inherent value, handing the whole shebang over isn't just a casual thing. Research into canine social behavior actually shows that this kind of voluntary sharing happens exclusively within genuine, deep bonding relationships. They absolutely do not do this with strangers.
All right, Section 3, The Welcome Gift Explained.
So that brings us to one of the most common versions of toy delivery, and you definitely know the exact moment I'm talking about here. You've just walked through the front door. The very second you come home, this massive physiological wave just rolls through your dog's body. Their excitement surges, their heart rate climbs super fast, and their whole nervous system literally shifts into high gear.
Yeah, and all of that intense arousal has to go somewhere, right? So what do? They scramble. They grab a toy, a shoe, maybe a random sock. By grabbing an object, your dog is actually engaging in emotional self-regulation. They're taking this intense inner storm of energy and channeling it into a constructive, completely non-destructive greeting ritual. Taking that toy from them, even just for a quick second, beautifully completes this bonding ritual.
Next up is Section 4, The Keep-Away Social Negotiation.
Okay, but what about those times they bring the toy over but then totally refuse to give it up? You know the drill. Your dog drops the toy, but the literal second you reach for it, they snatch it right back. So the crucial point here is this. It is not stubbornness, and it is absolutely not aggression. You see, dogs learn incredibly fast by observing what gets a reaction from the humans they love. They've learned that a toy placed beside you, especially one that gets whisked away the moment you reach for it, well, that almost always guarantees engagement. You look at them, you reach out, you talk to them. So this is really just a highly effective, learned social negotiation tactic they use to capture your attention.
Right, and when we contrast these two modes of communication, it really becomes crystal clear. Dropping the toy and just waiting, that's them offering you a gift or seeking closeness. But that game of keep away, That is an invitation to an interaction where the dog is actively trying to shape the rules. They want you to chase them, to dodge, to engage in the whole thing.
And if you recognize this, you can totally play along. A really practical takeaway here is to occasionally practice a cheerful trade for a treat. That way, they remember that letting go is highly rewarding too.
Moving to Section 5, the request for quiet presence.
Now we come to a version of this behavior that honestly, most owners completely overlook. Imagine the house is calm. Maybe it's a slow evening or a quiet, rainy afternoon, and your dog just softly places a toy near you or even on your lap. There are no playbows, no tension, just closeness.
And here's where a very common, very human mistake tends to happen. Our first impulse is usually to just grab that toy and launch it across the living room. But when we do that, we are essentially answering a question our dog never actually asked. Your dog wasn't asking for a wild game of fetch. They were simply requesting shared attention and some quiet presence.
Yeah, it's like in this really calm moment, the toy is just a little bridge they built to connect with you.
Exactly. So the absolute best way to respond to this kind of quiet visit is simply to hold off on throwing the toy. Instead, offer them a soft touch, maybe a gentle stroke, and provide just like 30 seconds of quiet, shared presence.
And by doing this, you're teaching your dog something really beautiful. They don't need to perform or initiate some high-energy game just to earn a moment of your love and connection. Which brings us to Section 6, delivering comfort in hard moments.
So what happens when it has absolutely nothing to do with the toy and everything to do with you? Think about those really hard days, when you're grieving, when you're sick, or when you're just carrying a ton of heavy, silent stress. Well, canine cognitive science has confirmed something truly remarkable here.
It really is amazing. Dogs can actually detect human emotional stress long before we even show visible signs of it. They sense microscopic changes in our breath. They can even detect rising cortisol and stress hormones through our sweat. So literally before your expression even changes, before you say a single word, your dog's highly attuned olfactory system has already gathered all the data.
And what do some dogs do with all that information? They go and find their favorite toy, the exact object that brings them the most comfort in the world, and they bring it straight to you. This is a completely instinctual, untrainable behavior. I mean, they can't ask what's wrong, and they obviously can't fix it, but they sense a shift in the person they love most, and they attempt to share their primary source of security with you. It is just such a profound act of empathy. Learning to observe these subtle physical and contextual cues behind a simple toy delivery, it absolutely transforms how we understand our dogs. It deepens our empathy and really strengthens that mutual attachment. So the next time a well-loved toy lands at your feet, maybe just pause for a second before you throw it. Look at their posture, read the room, and ask yourself what they're really trying to say.
Because sometimes it really is just a game.
And sometimes it's a gift to help them regulate their own joy.
But sometimes it's their whole heart, delivered the only way they know how.
So we'd love to hear from you guys. Which version of this behavior does your dog do the most often, and what specific toy do they always bring?
Yes, and more importantly, now that you know the actual science behind it, how are you going to react to the next time your dog drops a toy at your feet, knowing they might just be handing you a piece of their heart? Let us know down in the comments, because we literally read every single one.
If this explainer helped you see your dog in a whole new light, please hit that like button, share this with a fellow dog parent, and subscribe to Bentley and Aston Paws for more deep dives into canine science and behavior.
Thank you all so much for learning with us today, and hey, give your pup a soft pet from us.